Hey, and welcome to Out There with Dean. And today I'm taking us down to Jervis Bay, New South Wales, on the New South Wales south coast. If you've only got one day to explore an area from Sydney, Jervis Bay is really one of those hidden gems, or maybe not so hidden depending on who you are. And if you're wondering whether it's worth a drive for just a day trip, it certainly is. Jervis Bay is about a 3.5 hour drive south of Sydney. It makes it perfect for a day trip and a morning trip without needing to really spend any additional money on accommodation overnight. It's famous for its white sand beaches, and as you'll see a little bit later, it's crystal clear water and that turquoise blue water. It really creates an instant relaxed coastal vibe, which I think many people will really dig. Summer's an especially great time to get down to Jervis Bay. You just need to be aware that the crowds can be particularly dense when it's around the school holiday period. So anywhere from mid to late December all the way through to late January, it can be quite crowded, but it's a perfect time to visit. The water is really warm and inviting. The days are long, so even if you just want a day trip, you can really pack in a lot in that single day. So let me show you how to get the most out of a morning or a day in Jervis Bay. So the first place I'd recommend stopping when you're on your way to Jervis Bay when you've driven from Sydney in the morning would be the town of Huskisson, or it's just called Husky by the locals. So Husky is the main hub of Jervis Bay, and it's really the perfect place to start your day. It's really got that relaxed holiday vibe and feel, and it's got a few small cafes and restaurants and great views over the water. So if you want to pick up some food, this would be the perfect opportunity to do so. It's really the perfect opportunity if you've been driving all morning to grab a coffee or some breakfast to stretch your legs really after that long drive from Sydney, or that shortish drive from Sydney. And you can really then ease into the day. From Husky, you can really see a wide part of the bay, and you'll often see dolphins, and you could potentially see whales as well off in the distance in the bay. So it's really a really great starting point. Even if you're not staying long, Huskisson's really worth just visiting to get your bearings and soak in that first hit of what Jervis Bay is all about. So while you're in Huskisson, it's a really perfect opportunity to check out one of the first beaches on the route that I'm about to take you. So you really do need to stop at Huskisson Beach. This beach is absolutely stunning. It's not as well known as some of the other beaches around Jervis Bay. The sand when you get there is really soft. The water here is incredibly clear and calm. So it's really great if you have younger kids, or if you've a family and just want a calmer, more quiet beach, especially in the morning. On a sunny day, as you can see here, the water almost looks tropical. It looks like you're in the Caribbean or somewhere like that. It's absolutely stunning. It's a great place and a great beach for a quick swim. There's not a whole lot of parking around, so you really do need to park on the street around there. You can go for a swim or a paddle. A lot of people take their stand paddle boards down to this beach as well. Or you can just stand along the shoreline and take it all in. It's a really great place for a bit of people watching and just taking in some of the sun. If you're visiting in summer, it's one of those places that's really just impossible not to miss, and it's impossible not to jump into the water just to cool off as well. Huskisson Beach also feels very accessible. So as I said, the parking's really on street, but it's an easier walk onto the beach. There's not really any rocks or anything that you need to try and navigate. And it's a really perfect introduction and what makes Jervis Bay so special. So after spending some time at Huskisson Beach, I'd really recommend making your way over to Greenfields Beach. Now this is about a 10 or 15 minute drive, so it's not too far away, but this beach is one of my personal favourite beaches. Now I grew up in Jervis Bay, so I know a lot of the beaches around the area, and this one really is my favourite. The beach here, it really feels like a private beach that just happens to be open to everyone. It's tucked away, it's really peaceful, and it's incredibly beautiful. You can see here that There's a mix of that, the bush, which you get a lot on Jervis Bay beaches, but the bush, the sand, the rocks, and it's all very private. So it's really cut off end to end. It's not one of these massive beaches which stretch for kilometers or miles. It's really just a secluded little alcove of the beach. For this one, parking can be a little bit tricky, so that's why I recommended it as the first or second stop in the morning. You'd really want to get there a little bit earlier and not during midday, because the parking can be quite limited. Again, you can park up the street a bit from this beach and do the walk down, which isn't too bad. There's a bit of a hill when you're walking back, but it's not too bad. This beach maybe can be a little less accessible, depending on where you're coming from. This also has a big park area as well and some barbecues, but really I would recommend this beach really for the beach and just that secluded feeling with a beach that's open to everyone. Even when you're driving down to this beach, it feels a little bit special. It feels like you're taking like a little private road and not knowing where you're going to end up. It's a perfect place to spend a little bit longer as well. It can get a little bit rough at this beach, but typically it's calm. So another great beach for all of the family. So you could really just spend a whole lot of time here, just taking in the sun, taking in the water, and just taking in the beauty of this beach and everything that's around there with it. So from Greenfields, if you can peel yourself away, it might be actually a beach that you'd want to stay at for a lot longer, even make a full day out of it. It's quite possible. But if you're trying to see as much of Jervis Bay and some of those highlights as possible, I'd recommend heading down to Murray's Beach and the boat ramp there. This one's a little bit deeper into Booderee National Park, the national park that is part of Jervis Bay. So this stop can be a bit of a shorter one if you wanted to, but it's well worth it. It gives a fairly unique perspective and a unique view of Jervis Bay. So down near the boat ramp especially, you get a really different view of the bay. So a lot of the beaches are situated on the other side of the bay, on one particular side, where Murray's Beach is really near the opening or near the start of Jervis Bay. So you get a real different view of what the bay looks like, and particularly Bowen Island and the point there. Now, if you wanted to do something a little bit different, I would recommend doing a short walk down near the boat ramp. It's a little bit more rugged and a little bit more natural. It's a great place for a little bit of adventure. So if you like exploring the rocks around water and around beaches, I'd really highly recommend this one. You can do maybe a short 5 or 10 minute walk up along the rock face and down. It's not dangerous. There's a lot of sand, so it's fairly flat, but it just gives a bit of a unique adventure aspect to Jervis Bay, and something that's really safe, really quite accessible, but not something that you would see at very many beaches or many places that you would visit, especially around the bay, and certainly not as accessible. If you are keen for a swim though, I would stay away from the boat ramp area. That's really just for that exploring, if you want to look at exploring around the rocks and looking in the small little rock pools. But it's not great for a swim. There is a beach section of Murray's Beach, and that's really calm, it's protected, and it's another beautiful spot to cool off. Again, this one's surrounded by a whole lot of bushland, so it feels quite secluded, and really great for a stop off to get a bit more of Jervis Bay. So, as I said, we're deep into Booderee National Park, and really Murray's Beach is towards the end part of the national park. So from Greenfields Beach to Murray's Beach, it's probably another 25-minute drive or so, depending on how fast you're going. The next stop we're going to take though is coming back, and that's Green Patch Beach, and it's one of the most popular and family-friendly beaches in Jervis Bay. I've put this one on the list. Some people may find it a little bit worn and have been there and done that before, especially locals. But I think if you're visiting for the day and you want to get the most out of Jervis Bay, Green Patch is a necessary visit. It's especially well known for its camping area, so if you wanted to spend a little bit longer down in the bay and you didn't want to stay in sort of an Airbnb or any hotel or motel, the camping area there is a really great option. It's got a really large and beautiful parkland behind the beach, and you often see families setting up for the entire day, getting ready with their barbecues and their lunches, and really spending the day in that parkland there, and then heading down the beach when they get some time to cool off and spend some time on the beach. There's plenty of shade there. There's a huge amenities area with some bathrooms, so it's really well catered for. It's just really a great day spot all around. With the beach itself, so the beach itself, it's had a lot of work done to access the beach over a number of years. As I said, I grew up in Jervis Bay, so every time I visit Green Patch, it's not one that I visit all the time because it does get quite busy, but again, it's really great if you're a first-time visitor to really get the most out of it. So with the beach and accessing the beach, you used to be able to access it all the way along. It seems like recently they've closed a lot of that up and they've just got one main entry point to the beach. And the reason why they've probably done that is because to get to the beach, you have to cross almost like a creek or a small river. This is fed in through from the ocean, and it's quite shallow, but they have built a purpose-made bridge to go across that just to make it a little bit easier. I remember when I was a kid that didn't exist, or it wasn't the main entrance, and you used to have to like walk across the water. It was only not even knee deep, and again very safe. It seems like it's still used for kids to play in, and it's a bit of a safe area where there's going to be a lot less risk than being in the ocean. So getting down to the beach can be a bit of a walk, especially from the car parking area, but it's still fairly accessible. The beach itself is not one that's sort of cut off on each end. It's really one big long stretch of beach, so you could potentially walk to other beaches from Green Patch Beach. It's still a really beautiful beach though. The day that I was there filming this, there was actually a bit of algae in the water, so some red algae I think it was. I didn't quite know what it was to begin with. It just looked like a bit of red in the water and I thought it was actually seaweed. But as I went into the water, as you can see here, it was actually quite warm where that algae was. And my partner and my mum who I was with, we both turned to each other and we kind of went, oh, the water is incredibly warm here. But actually it was just that algae, and it's not dangerous to swim in. It's just, it just got in the way a little bit. But as soon as you got out a little bit further, the water was quite nice and still warm, but a lot cooler. It felt like it was maybe 25 degrees where that algae was. So it was a bit unusual. But it also made for a real beautiful showing of the beach. So Green Patch, again, it's one of the more famous beaches in Jervis Bay, but definitely worth a visit. Now, there's probably one beach that I've missed off here, and that's Hyams Beach. Now, I wouldn't recommend Hyams Beach. I know that it's really famous and it gets a lot of attention, especially online and especially from a lot of influencers. Hyams Beach is great and it's okay and it's as beautiful as all the other beaches, but that's really the point. It's as beautiful as the other beaches, and particularly Greenfields, the second beach that I recommended. That is essentially the beach next door, or one of the beaches very close to Hyams Beach, and you can walk to Hyams Beach from Greenfields if you really wanted to, but all of the benefits of Hyams Beach you get at Greenfields Beach, so there's not really a big necessary reason to visit there. The sand at Greenfields is just as wide as Hyams Beach. That's what it's really famous for. And likewise with Green Patch and the other beaches that I've mentioned, the sand is just as wide, the water's just as clear and just as blue and just as brilliant, but it's far, 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 far less packed and busy than Hyams Beach. During the busy holiday periods, Hyams Beach really becomes a bit of an operation to get in and out of, and the little town that's there, it becomes quite difficult to get into and out of. So before I wrap up, one of the more important things to mention as well in this video, especially for Green Patch and Murray's Beach, is when you're looking to enter Booderee National Park, there is an entry fee. This entry fee goes towards the amenities and the upkeep of the national park, and a day pass costs 20 Australian dollars at the time of recording this video. Now this price may increase in the future, but it's well worth the cost. It covers you for an entire day, so you can go in and out of the national park as often as you want. But it's well worth it, especially if you're visiting multiple beaches. So if you're going to Murray's Beach, Green Patch, and any of the other beaches that are in Booderee National Park, you really do need to get the pass. Now, you do actually need to get the pass. It's not an option. They'll give you a printout and that you have to put that on your dashboard of your car. Rangers will often come around, and if you don't have that pass there, you may get a fine. So really important to know. So if you're looking for some free beaches to go to, because they essentially have an access fee for accessing the park, then Greenfields is free and not in Booderee National Park, and so is Huskisson Beach as well. So that's it really. That's how you can explore Jervis Bay in just a morning or just a day. It's really an accessible place right on Sydney's doorstep, so 3.5 hour drive. From that relaxed feeling of the town of Huskisson all the way down to the crystal clear waters of Green Patch Beach. If you're ever hesitant about leaving Sydney for a day trip, Jervis Bay is just one of those places that proves it's absolutely worth it. With a bit of planning, using a video like this and an early start, you can see some of the most beautiful beaches in Australia without really feeling rushed at all. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Even drop a comment to say if you visited Jervis Bay and have any other recommendations. All of the interactions really does help my channel out, especially starting off. So let me know in the comments where you've been or where you're planning to go. I can't wait to take you on my next adventure. So I'll see you later. Bye.